Well, guys, we are living in a pretty
weird
time because we are experiencing, right now, a huge moment in American history. That's right. Little Caesars now has a calzone. It's called the four-quarter... What the hell is this? Oh, you look at that thing and you go like this. This is somebody eating that thing. Okay, there is one other thing that's going on, which is that the United Auto Workers are on strike. It's the first time in history the United Auto Workers have gone on strike against the three manufacturing behemoths at the same time. Whoa.
Okay, so I'm a moron. I'm what we call a common street level moron.
So what the hell's going on with this? What's the story to this? How is business at the big three car companies? That's who they're striking against. The big three have been rolling in it. They've made $20 billion in profit over the first 6 months in 2023 and roughly $250 billion in North America over the last decade. Whoa! They're going like this. Okay, yeah, so this is a historic fight between these big three car companies and the United Auto Workers Union. This is the president of that union. His name is Shawn Fain, and he's really not taking any bullshit from anybody, this guy. This guy looks right at these car companies and he goes,
"That's on YouTube."
Okay, he doesn't say that. He says,
"You're a moron."
And if the companies don't come to the pump and deliver for these members and give them their fair share of economic and social justice, we'll amp up the pressure. We'll take more plants out.
Okay, so usually when I think of a strike, I think of everybody walking off the job. Okay, we're all out of here, and we're all out of here until we can make a better deal. But what these guys are doing is some strategic...
some kind of strategic
The UAW on Friday struck at least 3 plants, one of each at the big 3 automakers. None of the plants is particularly crucial to the automakers' operations. Okay, let's check this out here. The strategy here is to maximize the hurt on the company, to maximize the on the company, and minimize the impact on strikers and the union more generally, says some professor of sociology.
So, yeah, it's pretty intense.
It's like, how can we strategically inflict the most pain on these companies if they won't make a good deal with us? And then we keep making it harder and harder and more chaotic for these companies.
Joining us now is Ford CEO Jim Farley.
Who?
With our own Phil LeBeau. Phil?
John, thank you very much. Jim, we're a little over 7 hours away from the strike deadline. Where do things stand? You've made your most recent offer. What have you heard back?
And by the way, what is this crap called? CNBC has been really going off on this. They've been going off like true kings about this. And they're talking to all these CEOs, and this is the Ford CEO. And immediately when I looked at this guy, I was like, what's it going on? There's something familiar about that guy.
You son of a bitch.
And then it clicked. Oh, he's got Farley face. That guy looks like Chris Farley. He's got like a Chris Farley kind of look. And then my eyes went... My eyes went down, and it's Ford CEO Jim Farley. He is related to Chris Farley. That's why he looks like that.
There's no way we can be sustainable as a company. That's why we put our proposal in 2 weeks ago to say, look, you want us to choose bankruptcy over supporting our workers?
He is kind of going into a little bit of a Chris Farley mode there. And keep in mind, this is CNBC here. This is not some like left-wing thing, some left-wing Twitter account or left-wing Reddit crap or something. This is CNBC, and all the comments, I mean, I read through, reading like 50, 100 of these comments, and they're all on the same side. Listen to this. I don't work at Ford, but what I'm hearing is there is money for everyone except those who actually make the product. Oof. Hey.
Okay.
Here's another comment. I am a United Auto worker for John Deere. I was involved in the 2021 strike. The company was singing a similar song about how paying us fairly, the company was playing a similar
Crystal flute
about how paying us fairly would result in bankruptcy. Currently, they have made $10 billion in profits. The big 3 will be just fine if they pay their workers a decent wage, blah, 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 blah. So these CNBC videos and all these videos do seem like they're kind of trying to do some PR stuff.
They're like, if we give these people what they're asking, the whole company will go in toilets.
But none of these people are buying it. All the comments are on the side of these striking workers. Yeah, I actually am kind of confused why CNBC wouldn't just turn the comments off for this, because it's kind of clear that they're spinning this on the CEO's side here. But all the comments are like this. What a surprise. CNBC doing propaganda for corporations. Color me shocked. Oh.
Nearing that deadline, Phil LeBeau is here now with the GM North America president. Phil, take it away.
Never heard of him. Okay.
Thank you, Scott. Mark Royce, president of General Motors. You just made a fourth offer earlier today to the UAW. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Okay, so yeah, CNBC has been doing a lot of this where it's, you have these two sides, the workers and then the the CEOs of these companies, the presidents of these companies. And CNBC it looks like it's letting the CEOs kind of tell their side of the story here a little bit. But on every one of these videos, people are just not having any of it. And this guy's saying the same thing. This is the president of GM. And he's saying the same thing as the other guy. He's like, this is terrible. We can't give them what they want. It's too much. Da, 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 da. And pretty much all the responses, the vast majority of the responses are like this. This is just sad. The UAW is going to be responsible for so much loss. This guy isn't going to be able to install the gold Shark Tank bar at the third pool of his fourth vacation home if auto workers don't agree to work for less than it takes to survive. Oh my God. The commenters are really doing this on these CEOs. So yeah, there's a lot of these kind of videos and people are really looking at these CEOs of these car companies and saying, "You're terrible. You're terrible." And where do we see them?
That's on YouTube.
Okay. And what else do you say of them?
You're a moron.
Hey, come on, man. So here's another one. This is Mary Barra. She's the CEO of General Motors. Okay, let's check this out. That other guy was okay, just to be clear. The other guy was the president of General Motors, is the CEO. Okay, here we go.
There and get this done. But if you're getting a 34% pay increase over 4 years and you're offering 20% to employees right now, do you think that's fair? Well, I think when you look at the overall structure and the fact that 92% is based on performance, and you look at what we've been doing of sharing in the profitability when the company does well, I think we've got a very compelling offer on the table, and that's the focus I have right now.
Okay, so this is another one. This is from CNN where they're like, it kind of feels like they're like, okay, let's please General Motors CEO who makes, how much is $29 million a year? How is it fair? How is it fair that you get 34% pay increase and they only get 20? How is that fair? And then the CEO lady's like, well, people are not really into this lady. The people have spoken in the comments and they have said, and then they go, "You're terrible." This guy's like, she makes $29 million a year based on 260 working days in a year. That's $111,500 a day. Ooh, okay, wow. That is a lot. That is kind of a lot. By the way, I can't even imagine wanting $29 million a year. Past a certain point, you're just like, okay, I got the Scrooge McDuck vault of coins. Nobody in the comments is buying this. She just admitted to the world that her 40% increase in salary is thanks to the people she's fighting against. The only thing more disgusting in this video is the fact that she wasn't pressed even harder by the reporter. She's getting this in the comments. Boom, 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 boom. It is sort of funny that these old school media channels are like, let's get these CEOs out to tell their side of the story. And everybody's just like, boo! Give up half your paycheck to pay the people who do the work. And don't tell us you can't survive on $14 to $15 million. That is sort of like money has to lose its meaning after a while, right? Like, what really is the difference between $29 million a year and $15 million a year? I guess the difference between $29 million a year and $15 million a year is like, one is like, oh, I got Beyonce to perform live on my yacht. And then you're like, oh man, I dropped down to 15 mil a year.
Now I got a smaller yacht and it's Ice Spice.
And the whole time you're watching Ice Spice on your yacht, you're just like,
what a step down.
This birthday isn't even fun anymore. I'll be in the helicopter.
So you know what? You want to play ball? You want to keep doing this?
Hey.
Mexico.
Glad to see you're standing up for the American worker here, Jim. Thanks for that.
Well, no, I was a union member twice. One was completely corrupt when I led a wildcat strike and was fired.
Oh, okay.
That was not good.
That is truly one of the weirdest interactions I think I've ever seen on TV. Who's watching this crap? But I like the way Jim Cramer says that. He's like, you want to keep doing this? Mexico.
Mexico.
Pendejo.
And then I kind of love this other guy, his co-host, who's just like, oh, great job standing up for the American worker there, Jim. And then Jim Cramer, who was just saying, yeah, screw them over and move to Mexico where you could pay people $5 or whatever. The guy who was just saying that goes, I was in a union, actually, too. So I would have loved. I would have loved for them to just move to Mexico, I guess. Oh my God. So this guy, Jim Cramer, his whole thing is telling people what to invest in, what stocks to invest in. Ooh, buy, sell, buy, sell. Buy, sell, do this. Buy, sell, go like this. Boom, 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 boom. But he tells people what stocks to buy, and he's got some really funny ones. A small selection of his all-timers include telling viewers to buy Silicon Valley Bank just weeks before it crashed, the time he compared Sam Bankman-Fried to the banker J.P. Morgan, and the time he told ex-Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes, who they threw her ass in jail, that it was reasonable to compare you to Steve Jobs. Oh, well, it's reasonable to compare you to
Toilets.
because that's what that company turned out to be. Okay, so it's kind of obvious if you think about it. You know, looking at these CNBC videos, you look at the comments, people are, shut up, you know? You know, they interview these CEOs on CNBC, and people are like, you could get a
left nut.
If you're just a normal person watching YouTube videos, who do you side with? The person who makes $26 million a year or someone who builds cars? So people are pissed off. They want a fairer deal. And into this situation walks this guy.
You know, they have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years. And we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40, 50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. It's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy.
Oh man, this is one of the more
weird
viral clips. Boy, oh boy, has this thing been spreading around YouTube. They're doing the strike to improve their condition. And this guy's like, oh no, you know what we need to do? Make that way worse. He's Australian, I believe. And he just seems so nice and warm and friendly to me. But there's a pretty funny ending to this story. This guy apologizes. This was just like the next day, basically. This guy apologizes over call for more unemployment to fix worker attitudes. He apologized. Oh, wow. He said in a post on LinkedIn that he had made some remarks about unemployment and productivity in Australia that I deeply regret and were wrong. What I don't understand is then, like, why were you saying that? Were you just bullshmitting? I was just talking.
I was just having a good time. I don't
know. You know, sometimes you're at a party. You say, I think we should do a class war and crush poor people. You know, it's just, I'm having fun. I mean, I do kind of feel sorry for these people who become like, you know, the viral guy of the day, you know? The viral guy who we hate of the day. I think the apology might have something to do with the fact when you search the name of this guy's company, now it's just all this story. Yeah, so it is kind of funny being this guy, the asshole of the day. So when this guy apologizes for saying that, what he's really saying is, can you please stop writing stories? Can you please stop writing stories about me? But what's funny about this guy is he's kind of done this before, like saying like very simple, stupid things about economics. He's the same guy who in 2017 said, and this was the same kind of viral meme where he was like, millennials need to stop eating avocado toast and then they'll be able to buy a house. And people were like, that seems pretty simple. That seems kind of dumb. So it's kind of funny. This guy's been here before. The guy who goes viral for saying something stupid. But he's like, I gotta do it again. I can't stay away. Once you get that taste of everyone making fun of you, I gotta get it again. So there we go. I think we learned something today. I think we could take a lesson from this, which is if you're some kind of a CEO and you're at some public event and there's cameras around filming you, when you say something, maybe think first, oh, do most people think this is disgusting, what I'm saying? But there we go, a very interesting and exciting historical event that we're living through right now. This is a huge deal, and we'll see what happens with all this. And that, too. And then they go like this. That's right, it's the most
toilets
of days, but we're still doing it. Love you guys so much. Bye-bye.